and both kids asleep by 7:30.
Winning.
Oh.
Okay, I think we're live on YouTube now.
Reach.
So we've got 1, 2, hopefully.
1, 2.
Hey YouTube.
Oh, it's weird because I'm on the right side on that one, left side on that one.
Flipped. I'm
That's
currently
cool.
in bed with my 6-year-old trying to get him to sleep, but no luck yet. I'm sorry. That was me. Actually, I wouldn't say that. I'd say Jacob is pretty good at going to sleep thanks to melatonin.
Yeah, and you just like sit there and like try to make everything really boring, and just like sit there.
Well, he
I
has
put
his
one
iPad.
earpiece in and just I know, but like not
We don't like play with him.
Yeah, like we just.
But he knows that it's like a routine.
Yeah,
now.
there's solid routine now. Whether he sleeps or not, that's
whether he stays asleep.
Yeah, the staying asleep. That's.
Everyone on YouTube, say hi, all of you 4 people that have joined us. Chat to us. Someone else wrote, it's 10:46 a.m. in London. Interesting. Would you like me to request to come on your live?
How do you do that? Is that like through?
Get somewhere down there. Send me a message, open book. I'm not sure what your name is. Send me a message. I do guest lives every Monday, so very open to having guests over there. This one is just going to be us, if that sounds really bad. It's not going to be.
Makes my eyes look really, really blue.
It's not going to be very long, this live, because I'm tired.
And hungry, and we're eating after this.
Yes. So yeah.
But we had a late lunch, so it's.
Yeah. Hi, Sam. We actually went to the shops.
We got sushi. Yum.
We got sushi, and we spoilt our daughter.
And Jacob got a couple things too.
We haven't given those to him yet, so.
And I bought a stress ball. Yeah. I don't know. No, just like I was watching, like it came up on something and they were using a stress ball, and I was like, I could use a stress ball. Like, I don't know, feels good. It's good for the forearm, whatever. I don't know.
I think so too. I was actually talking.
And I was curious if Jacob would like it as well, because
I
thought he might like the feeling. So I got like 3 different feeling balls, I guess. Why are you laughing? Because I said balls?
3 different feelings.
Yeah, like different densities, I guess, and shapes and sizes. They had so many at Typo. They had like one that was like a hot dog in a hot dog bun.
And they had an eggplant.
But it was like not a hot dog. It was a hot dog.
You're not helping yourself.
And a duck in sunglasses. And they were stress balls. Kind of cool.
Jordan needs a stress ball because he's stressed.
No, just it's fidgety. It's fidgety.
Yeah, no, I actually think that I fidget a lot, or I snack a lot. So like if I'm sitting here watching TV, I need to do something with my hands, or
you fall asleep. Yeah, you get tired.
Or I'm gonna fall asleep, or I'm just like restless, or I have to stand up, or
if I'm not snacking or like I don't know, doing something like playing a video game, out asleep.
Greetings from Germany. Jacob is a wonderful boy like our son. I watch your videos and they are so similar. I get that a lot. We get that a lot, that you guys can relate, and I guess I get that.
And we've seen other children that go like, oh,
that's the opposite. Like we see Jacob.
That reminds me of Jacob. Like we'll see a little boy or something that's similar to Jacob's behaviour and be like, oh, he's like Jacob. Like because you don't see it often, like in a way. But when you do see it, you're like, oh, cool.
I've seen plenty of autistic kids, but just this
there was
one
that boy.
Caleb on TikTok. He just, I don't know what it was. even some of the things he did wasn't very like some of the things he did was very similar to Jacob.
Very
but
specifically
also
similar.
just like his essence, like his loves the beach and just the way that he looked at people just really like reminded
The
me of Jacob.
expressions and stuff,
Oh,
yeah.
I was just like, this is weird. Not weird, but like it was almost like
so surreal.
surreal, yeah.
Yeah, that it was so close.
I have a fidget ring that helps. Have you heard of those?
Fidget ring? What
It's
is it,
like
like
a
a fidget
ring.
spinner?
No, it's
But-
a ring and you just flick it and it spins around.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I might have come across it.
Yeah.
Like once, maybe.
I think that I need something like that. I started to try to crochet and I failed epically. But I needed something to do that wasn't snacking.
You got this like one hair. Oh, it's on the other side.
It's on this side. My hairs, my baby hairs. Does Jacob go to mainstream school? No. I'm not. I'm a little bit careful about saying too much about school just because privacy reasons. But no, he doesn't go to mainstream school.
Yeah, we didn't think that it would be well suited for him.
Well, and when we went to the local school, they said that he would be better suited to a
Yeah, that's what their recommendation was
special
anyway.
school.
Yeah.
I haven't seen many young autistic girls similar to Olive. Most are super quiet. Olive is loud and proud.
That's cool.
I think you were saying, Kathy, the other day that she talks your ear off. Yeah, I think they're all so different. Just like you and I were all so different. But when you find that one person that's just similar, it's just like
It's crazy. Yeah.
insane.
It's so cool.
And that hasn't happened to me a lot with autistic kids or people in general. I haven't really seen anyone that's like
Apart from
reminded me of Jacob. I get the message so often though. Every single day I get a message like, "Oh, my son is so much like Jacob." And I get it. Like you probably see like
so
small
many
snippets,
similarities
yeah.
or like parts or something he'll do will just catch your eye that will be like, yeah, that
Yeah.
that way.
I'll send you a photo of it. It really helps.
But also, there's statistically there's less girls with autism than boys as well, so it'd be also even harder.
I don't think so.
No, that's what I diagnosed. Yeah.
Because it's a lot harder.
No, well that's what I got told was the statistic is there's a decent amount more boys with autism diagnosed. Yeah, but that would be it would have to play some.
Well, I think that a lot of autistic girls fly under the radar, and autism presents differently in girls than boys.
Maybe
And-
boys show it more, you think?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
That's fair.
And I've heard, like, I'm speaking from a bit of an ignorant
Camera.
ignorant position here, but I've heard that girls like mask a lot better. You know what masking is?
Yeah, just covering it up, yeah.
Yeah, and there are so many adult autistic women coming out now saying that they're unmasking from a lifetime of having to mask.
After finding out about it more and stuff, then they like realize,
Because it's all over TikTok, it's all over Instagram now, and
so they're
you
thinking
just-
about it more.
Yeah,
And
it's
they-
like,
they can
hold
relate,
on,
yeah.
that sounds like me, and
They get that
and-
relation, and then they're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, maybe this is me. Yeah, I have heard stories of that happening, like to like older people. Actually, we know someone who found out when he was quite old. Sorry.
who was that? I didn't say the word.
Yeah.
Didn't say the name, but
Just
I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you should. But like,
Found out when he was old.
anyway, it doesn't matter.
We are starting Olive to be herself, but I've noticed she's starting to mask in social settings. I think that it's just an adaptation to the environment. Obviously, environments in society aren't inclusive. Some try to be, but you know, it's hard. It's like in our homes, we've adapted our entire homes to be neurodiverse and all about that. But you can't control what happens outside of your home. Like in a school, it's very much.
It's the neighbor.
Okay. I'm having a look.
Yeah, me too. I heard it before, but the neighbor, she just sometimes goes out and like pats the cats and stuff. So it's like,
yeah. So I think it's going to be so hard, especially because they have their own lives as well. Like when they go to school. I know when I went to school, like it's nothing like that, but it's like you just follow the crowd because you want to fit in and you want to be accepted, and that's just
what happens? Yeah.
Just what happens,
yeah.
And it's not exactly nice because you want to be your own person. But I think that's a whole part of growing up. I think that's hopefully.
Yeah.
I've heard there's like detrimental things to do with masking. Physically and emotionally. So I hope that Jacob never has to mask. I don't think that he will. He's like, yeah, I just think he doesn't give a about what anyone thinks.
Yeah, no, he doesn't care who's watching or what's happening, like what the environment's telling him that he shouldn't be doing. He just, if he wants to do something,
that's my favorite thing about him.
That's yeah, agreed. Like he doesn't care what anyone thinks or is watching. Like he just like, this is me. This is what I'm gonna do. This is what I want to do, and I'm gonna do my best job at getting what I want done. And damn, good boy.
I wish I could be like that.
Yeah,
it's.
I guess it's a bit admirable.
Do either of you have traits of autism? I think I do. But that's not to say that I think I'm autistic. I just think I do some things that autistic people, or that are signs of autism. Does that make any sense?
I definitely have like some tell signs, but I didn't look at those signs until we had Jacob. Because I didn't really know that much about autism until we had Jacob, to be honest. Like, I knew, like, a little bit. But I didn't know to the extent that I know now, I guess.
Yeah,
my knowledge has... And I think that by knowing now, I feel that everyone should know a bit more. And I wish I knew a bit more pre-Jacob, having Jacob. I think he's a... Oh, that's my phone. Oh. It's saying you should go to sleep now. Yeah, that's my like, hey, think about going to bed now type of alarm.
That's if you're working.
Yeah, but it comes up every night. It comes up as bedtime.
What do you guys think about that? Do you see traits of autism in yourself? I feel like it is harmful to say, like the saying, which someone has written down there, so I don't want to say it's offensive, but some people think it's offensive to say that everyone has autism or we're all a bit on the spectrum. I've heard that one before. A lot of autistic people say it's not a nice thing to say because it's sort of
tones down what they are
experiencing.
Yeah, experiencing, because even if they do have some spectrum traits and like some things that happen, that could just be a coincidence. I guess it could be. I'm not saying that it is or isn't, but it could, like, some things could just be coincidence. Like, it's, I don't think, yeah, I don't know. I think it's a very grey thing to talk about. Like, it's
and it shouldn't be, because it shouldn't be that way, but it is.
Those who think of that as a nice way of thinking and looking at it, then go for it. But for those who don't agree with it, just like let people think what they want to think, I guess, and that's the way
The cookie crumbles.
everyone should just be respected to think what they want to think.
Yeah. So
Like
what?
you shouldn't be telling people no, don't think this way, because that's on them
Yeah.
to choose and decide.
What traits of autism do you see in yourself?
To pinpoint off the top of my head, oh, I don't know if I'm okay to share those things.
Well, you don't have to. I was just gonna say for myself, a big one for me is I notice that I have to work on eye contact so much. Like when I'm in a social setting, and I think this is because I have kind of social anxiety. When I'm in a social situation with someone I'm not fully comfortable with, I have to think about looking at them, and um, and I get like, oh, maybe I should turn away now, and maybe I should look back at them, and like, is this an uncomfortable amount of eye contact? Like, I really have to think about that, and that is a very telltale sign of autism. But
that could be shyness as well.
That's one, yeah, and
yeah, that could just be purely like you have social
Social
anxiety. That
Yeah.
could be like there's, yeah.
I feel like I relate
that-
with Olive.
That would be a relation, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I relate with Olive, and I have a lot of childhood trauma, history of anxiety. I also stim with the hands and feet. I'm keen to investigate. I do that too.
I think one that I can think of is
You don't have to.
well,
You don't have
it doesn't
to
mean
share.
that every person has this trait. Like, not everyone that has autism is gonna have this trait. But like, I have like quite intense mood swings. Would be like that's me anyway. Like, I think that's somewhat of a possible tell, right? Like that
But that could be so many other
that
things
that could
as well.
exactly, but like so that's why I thought it's not really worth mentioning, because it's kind of it's very grey.
Can I mention
It's hard.
your views on like sayings?
Like
metaphors?
literal things, like much of a muchness. I hate those like types of sayings that don't make literal sense.
You know those Aussie slang sayings like.
I mean, there's some that are okay, but they make sense. I don't mind the ones that make sense because they make sense.
What about when pigs fly?
Like, 2 birds, 1 stone. It makes sense. It's like, oh, you're getting an objective done by doing 2 things. It makes sense. But the ones that don't make any relation, like they're not like metaphors. They're just like much of a muchness. It doesn't make sense. So like,
Or like, you're being such a negative Nancy. I'll say that to him, and he's like,
yeah, negative Nancy. Like, who's Nancy? Like if there's like, if you're relating Nancy,
who's Nancy? It's just the saying.
and
but
I get
it in a literal sense.
see like that doesn't make sense to me. But like, if you're talking about like a Karen, like I get that thing, because it's like, oh, that's like the persona of like a Karen. Like, it makes sense. It's funny,
but negative Nancy is just because it's an N and N. That's just how it is.
Just because of an N. Like, what did Nancy do to you?
I was just gonna say to Kathy, I think I was talking about this with Whitney in our Instagram live this week, and she was talking about how the symptoms and signs of autism are can be very similar to the signs of childhood trauma, and so it's very hard, especially when you're an adult, to distinguish whether you are autistic or you have experienced childhood trauma.
And that's why there's professional people to help diagnose.
Yeah, but
like,
it's very hard for adults to get diagnosed.
Yeah.
Hi, Linda and Claire.
Hello.
Welcome. This is a very laid back live, and we're gonna hop off soon. But
we're chilling.
I wanted to come on because we wanted to do a video chat.
Getting some waves. I like seeing waves. Like, hi.
I would love to know if you guys see any signs of autism in yourself.
I know it's so warm. I can't
wait to get mine.
I shouldn't have worn more clothes under this. It's like in between. It's not that cold yet.
I'm a bit cold, but I'm gonna put my ones in.
So good.
This is a perfect time for us who lives in Europe. What time is it there?
Europa.
All right. I think we are going to finish the live there because I'm getting a bit hungry.
Oh, what about like any rapid, quick questions? Like if anyone thinks of a question, we'll answer any questions and then bounce. Bounce.
Oh, it's 12 o'clock there. That's perfect.
Lunchtime.
Someone said they were in Canada and it's like 3 a.m. at this time, so it's hard for them to join in. So I'm assuming like America. I don't know what the time zones are over there, but
bye, Miss Mitchie.
It keeps pausing on my end, so I'm heading off. Oh, is that us? I hope it's not us.
Not downloading anything, am I?
Oh, we just love you guys. I live in Sweden.
Sweden.
Cool. It's so cool to hear.
Yeah, different places.
From different places. I just still can't get over it.
Just picture them like sitting at their computer on like the other side of the globe, just like tuning in. It's like, it's kind of cool.
It's also overwhelming.
It's awesome. I think it's awesome.
I've had so many people say that.
Wave. The people that wave. I
they're
like to
not
wave.
waving.
Yes, it's a wave. They press wave,
they're not
right?
pressing wave. That's everyone that joins.
Okay, I didn't get that. See, I'm not an Instagram person. I
think that it's not the reception's bad or something.
Oh, because they're in the garage, right? Is it coming through okay to anyone
on Instagram?
Anyone on Instagram? Yeah, the garage is actually really bad for reception because it's all metal around.
But I don't have issues with my Instagram lives.
Couldn't you not do Instagram live on the computer?
No.
That's not a thing? It has to be your phone?
Yeah.
What?
I have ADHD and I think there are many parallels to autism.
Yeah.
100%. And
I'd agree with that.
That is why it's so hard when they do have autism to get an ADHD diagnosis.
Yeah, because there's overlying traits and you've already gotten one diagnosis, so they're very
some
doctors are more not inclined to give the diagnosis, right?
Yeah, sorry. I think that a lot of doctors, especially under the age of 5 or 6, that we encountered.
We had a lot of trouble getting Jacob's diagnosis just because of the fact that some doctors didn't want to give a diagnosis under 5, and then even when he turned 5, they wanted to push it back again, and then we just go, no, we need a second opinion. And we did, and we got our diagnosis straight away.
And the medication helped
dramatically,
which proves that he has ADHD.
Dramatically, the medication for ADHD helped Jacob so much.
Was it difficult to have second child because both is so different? I think I say this all the time. I think every child is going to be different anyway. So
yeah, 100%.
no matter if they're autistic or neurotypical, you're going to have different experiences with your children. And obviously, with autism, it can go as like a certain way, but never the same as the next autistic child. So I don't think it was. It was difficult initially.
Definitely.
I don't.
No doubt.
Yeah, but it's actually so good at the moment. Their relationship, is good. And I thought I'd never say that. I honestly thought I'd never say that. And yeah, it's going well.
Yeah, he's a much happier, playful. He's just.
It's that ADHD medication, I swear.
He's
just more focused.
He's more back to being
He's himself.
himself.
Yeah. And it's truly just helped him to be less frazzled and be more like
To
I
calm
can
down.
concentrate.
Yeah,
I can concentrate on my interaction with my sister. Like it's just helped so much.
yeah. Sometimes he would be overwhelmed and like even like strike jazz pretty much, and now he's just so much more
Mm.
being able to control his energy better. Yeah.
And to answer your question, you said I can't even buy toys to other kids because I don't even know what kids like. Um, it is. It does feel weird. No, not weird. I don't want to say this to offend anyone. It does feel like you're going through as if it's your first child. Does that make any sense?
Because it's so different.
Because it's so different. Like we never had a child that, like Jacob never
would want to do. I don't know.
never really talked. So when Jazz started talking, it was like new to us. That's what I'm trying to say. Whenever she would like socialize with another child at the park, we never experienced that. So that was kind of like the first time we did that with her. So I would just say like just experience it and see what toys they like. Kids are so easy with toys. You don't have to buy them toys. They will play with sticks and snails and bugs and be happy.
Jazz loves bugs.
Oh.
Jacob, like, he's actually turned around with dogs though, which is surprising. He's gone through all the. Jacob's like a roller coaster. He's never the same again and again. Like, he's been through the stage of being scared from dogs. He's gone through the stage of liking dogs and being okay with them, to being too rough with them and being like kind of too excited and accidentally hurt them, to scared of them again, and then back to being happy to see them. So Jacob's never really that consistent in his behavior. It changes over time. He's been a roller coaster of an experience, but he's very pure natured and happy and underneath when he's himself and not overwhelmed or put in a circumstance that he doesn't like, then he may seem like he's misbehaving, but he's not. He's nothing but pure, that boy. He's amazing.
He does his thing and
if
works
something's
for him.
if something's throwing him off, like he wanted to go to the beach today and he wanted to go a particular way, but they were filming something, so he couldn't go that way. And the fact that he had to go around a different way, he got very upset. Very upset, meltdown. But if he would have had his way, he wouldn't have really gotten that way. Like it's
very though. There was a film crew
but it's not his fault. He doesn't understand that he can't go there, and you can't explain that to him.
He goes to this particular beach. He goes the same way every time, and he swims in the same spot every time. So it's just like so hard to, especially routines.
Why won't you let me do the thing that I want to do? Is essentially what he's trying to tell us.
Yeah, and I think particularly for non-speaking autistic children, routines are so important to them because then they know what to expect is what's next. And I know that Jacob does understand us when we say, oh, we're going to do this, so we're going to do that. But sometimes he doesn't. And,
and there's some things that
he can't clarify that either. Like he can't say, "Oh, we're going to go to the park."
Yeah, or for example, if like he wants like a mandarin, he wants the bag of mandarins, and like we know that he'll be sick if he has like all the mandarins that are in the bag, so we have to hide them, and like that's so he doesn't get a stomachache. But yeah, he may get upset at first that you've taken them away. But it's for his own good. But you still have that issue of him being upset. So you try and distract, and like
the communication
it's
is
a lot
there,
of work.
But we can't go to the more detailed communication, like what we could do with Jazz and say, we can't do that because we're going to feel sick, and she would understand that. So
yeah, 100%.
How do you know what is wrong or what Jacob wants if he doesn't speak? My son is autistic and it's so frustrating not to know what is wrong with him. What is with him? I imagine what is the worst. That's true.
Yeah, well, like the fact that he can't tell you is probably we look at it as being frustrating for ourselves, but I think like just having that moment of thought of like the fact of how frustrating it is for them,
Mm-hmm.
like it makes you want to try even harder to find a way to get to know what they want. And like
We still haven't found it.
no, not really, because Jacob in a way has gotten a lot better at telling us more of what he wants, but that's come in time.
Not speaking.
Not speaking, but like he'll grab like the bread and the peanut butter and be
Yeah.
like, "This is what I want."
When it comes to
And-
food, yes, but when it comes to
But
like
food's a great driver.
say one day he wanted to go to the park, there's no way he could tell us.
No, but he may stand near the door a lot, and
When
he
we
does
go
have
out.
his.
Yeah.
We are trying to get him to be able
We
to
know.
use
Yeah, we know
his communication
some of the
device.
things that he'll do. Have you ever thought of learning sign language? Yeah, actually, that's like next on the list.
And we've gotten like a few things like that.
He's repeated a few signs,
like we say
and-
toilet and more, and like we've got some things going.
but he never does it on his own, like
But-
spontaneously.
But we do them to him
yeah,
in
It's
case it
something-
helps him.
it's something that is going to be next, if that makes sense. Like we've tried the AAC, it's not really working. We've tried speaking, it's not really working out. Now he's more so in like the body language / like moving our hands to places. And I think that the fact that he uses his body to communicate so much means that sign may work out really well, because sign is using your body to communicate. And so instead of him like pulling your arm over to the sandwich, he can, I don't know what the sign is for sandwich, but he can just be like eat or something.
Yeah,
like
food. Even if it's as basic as possible, like if
Mm.
we can get him to learn like toilet and like hungry and things like that, like just like even the basics first.
Yeah.
Like we want to. We are definitely
We're
onto sign
exploring that.
language.
We need to get like some posters or something to put up on the wall so that it just reminds us and it shows us what to do. Obviously, we don't know sign language, so
What it seems like is what we've been told anyway, is to not shut any doors of forms of communication, so that at least he has, even if it's a mixture of things.
Yeah.
Like he may have a combination between sign language and pressing buttons, and just having it like everything at his disposal.
Mm.
Even if it's just a way for us to be able to communicate with him, whether it be sign language or talking device or whatever it may be, or a word or two words, like
I think
everything we can get out of Jacob, we're going to do our best.
I think that we'll always have the AAC there, because the AAC is the universal communicator. It is going to be the one that Jacob will be able to go to the shops and ask for something, or the one that he can go to school and ask for something. Like that is, we don't expect the world to know sign language. So when it comes to the AAC, it may not be working now, but it may be something that he develops down the track, and he's able to request, I want an ice cream from McDonald's.
But
Something like
he
that.
also might, because I said he's a roller coaster in his behavior, he may just randomly all of a sudden start doing really well with the communication
Yeah.
device. And the
We
fact
never
that
know.
he may just really get into something for no apparent reason but his mood, or like just
or like he just understands that that's going to get what he wants.
yeah, it's like, oh, this gets me that, maybe I'll start using this more. Like, so keeping everything open to him and seeing where he thrives will be our best bet.
I'm going to do one more comment. Yes, I saw my son liking dogs so much 1 year before we bought one, and then he hates the dog and wants the dog to leave the house. We don't want to leave the dog. Don't know what to do. That's hard.
Yeah, that's why
That's why we've stopped.
we thought it was a good idea, and then we saw some bad behavior around dogs, and then we pulled back a bit. Luckily, we saw that before we bought the dog. But either way,
we were never going to buy a dog.
No,
I
I was gonna surprise with a dog, but then brought it up to you, and then
No, it wasn't a good idea.
it wasn't
at
a
that
good
time.
idea, and I'm happy we didn't, because at that time it wouldn't have been good. And but we're definitely open to it in the future. Um,
I think just it's so hard because like
I'd give it time.
it's not like if Jacob didn't like the dog, it wouldn't be like, oh, we need to get rid of the dog, because it's a family dog. It's not just a dog that's going to suit Jacob's needs. So if Jazz is really liking the dog, it's not really fair for us to get rid of the dog because Jacob doesn't like the dog. I'm not telling you guys what to do.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I go, you're
But
talking about
in
Jacob and
my-
Jazz,
But in my situation, I wouldn't base a decision based off of one child's opinion.
yeah, but also you're not really answering that question, because it's the question about what she should do, and like
We can't tell you that.
no, we can't. But like, I can say what I think would be like. I would try and give it time. If you're asking like what I think, I'd give it time and try to I guess
Something that I learned with my children.
Short term, like just like
Yeah.
have it be like not for too long, not try to over encourage it, but maybe try and have the dog in the room or be playing with the dog, but not just nearby,
Doing
and
something that he likes.
slowly, yeah.
Making it a positive experience.
Or every time the dog's in the room, it's like whilst he has his favorite toy or food, or like have it be a positive mindset whilst the dog's in the same room, if you're able to do that. Like if you have enough people with you, it's not.
Yeah, it sounds really weird for me to say this, but it's like what we did with Jacob and Jazz. They had a very bad experience together, and we had to separate them for a lot of the time.
And then they could go back near each other.
And we would only bring them together for interactions if both of us were there, so we could separate if we needed to. We had a controlled environment that was positive. So often it would be Jazz giving Jacob blueberries, and it was honestly the best thing that we'd ever done, is make their interactions positive, because then they both learnt how to have a positive interaction with each other.
But we would never leave them, just the two of them, because you may randomly hear tears and you want to be there for that. So we always made sure at least one of us, minimum, was between them, which was scary. But now it's completely different. Things have changed again. Like
I'm still wary.
we're always like cautious because of previous experiences, but at the same time they're doing so much better together. They actually play, and it's amazing, and it makes me so happy.
It's the best.
Like it's the best feeling in the world from them. Like
it's
it's like the greatest feeling is like them playing together. There's nothing better, especially because it was so rough. For like 3 years of like being scared, I guess, that he's gonna hurt her, like really. But now I'm not scared anymore. I'm still cautious, but I'm not scared. Like
they're doing so well.
He's doing amazing.
We went out for lunch. We went out for lunch, just the two of us, and the entire time, obviously, we're just like, when you think of your kids, like, before having kids, you could never imagine this view that you'd have for a person. But when I think of my two kids, it's just like, it brings a smile to my face. I am head over heels in love with these people.
Yeah, I love them so much.
It's indescribable until you experience it. And we spent the entire time getting them toys and stuff. Like, it was not.
Yeah, we weren't interested in us. Like, if we go into a shop, like, we only want to look for them. I get more enjoyment of them being happy.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
They all understand.
The fact that you.
They're all parents.
It's weird, but yeah, I guess you love when you're younger. You care about yourself so much, but then like as you get there, you care about them more than you care about yourself. Like they're your, like, you know,
Yeah, well, we made them.
They're
We
just
better.
they're
We
they're
better.
just like they're everything.
They are. Yeah, and we were just like talking about how whenever you think of your kids and they're not with you, you're just like, you know. I'm sure everyone here is all parents, so they understand the feeling.
We love you too, Sonia Baldio. Baldio?
All right, I think we're gonna head off now. I'm getting a bit tired.
Bye.
Thank you guys for joining. And hopefully we will be able to have the Zoom chat. I'm not sure how it would work, but we can do it.
Bye. Bye, Linda.